Hey guys, hope you guys had a good and happy Thanksgiving this past week. And today I am doing my weekly wrap-up, and if you do not know what that is where I talk about the books that I've gotten in the past week, the books that I have read in the past week, and the book that I'm currently reading. So this week, I am not going to be just showing you the books I have gotten in the past week, but also my Black Friday haul, which is actually just movies that I was able to get. So, let's first talk about the books that I have finished in the past week, and I've actually only been able to finish one, and this book, oh my gosh, I'm so happy with this book, and it is Eragon by Christopher Paolini. And I didn't really go into this book knowing much about the author, and Christopher Paolini, when writing this book, was 15/16 years old, and that is really a pleasant surprise, because I really think that as a 15/16-year-old, your writing style, your writing skills might not be as great as an adult, but he did an amazing job, and I will go into that a little bit later. But let's talk about what this book is about. Eragon is a 15-year-old teenager who is about to turn 16, and he hunts for the family, and he's in the spine, a forest that most people hold as a very dark, evil forest, and he's in there to try to get some meat for the winter so that him and his uncle and cousin can survive. But as he goes through, he finds it very frustrating when he can't get the deer that he's been trying to get. And as he's walking through the forest, he comes upon a blue stone. He thinks that this blue stone may be very valuable, and so he goes to town to try to sell it. But nobody can really tell what the value of this stone really is. So he brings it home, leaves it on his dresser, and goes about his day. A couple of days later, when he wakes up, he sees a baby dragon in his room and realizes that the blue stone wasn't a blue stone after all, but a dragon. So again, the writing was amazing in this book. I really thought that he did very well in making it very descriptive and very beautifully created. He created a world that felt very real. He created people that just felt very real. And he created a dragon that was very, very real. And I just loved that he was able to capture this story and this world and these people in such a way that you just felt like you were right there with them. I loved that the writing wasn't over descriptive, but was just enough to keep you going. I know a lot of people said that he overdid the metaphors and all that stuff, but I thought he did just fine. And if you know me, you know I love that kind of descriptions. I love when they try to throw a poetic type writing into their stories. It just makes it very beautiful. And his writing was had this atmospheric feel of magic throughout this book. It was just everything, his writing, magical. The story itself was just so well paced. I really appreciated that although this was an action book, it didn't feel rushed. And a lot of times when it comes to action books, I do feel like they are rushed. Even though there's a lot of battles, there is a space and time to get to know these characters throughout the book, and it's just wonderful. You don't feel like you're being overwhelmed with a lot of action, fighting scenes, but you're not feeling like you're being bogged down with a lot of information at the same time. Everything is slowly given to you as and interweaved into the story as you go. You get to know Saphira, the dragon, and Brahm, and Murtagh, and Eragon. You just get to know all these people so very well throughout this story. And then it goes into the characters. I really love the characters. Eragon, you got to know him very well, and he was very relatable, and it was like you were learning alongside him about dragon riders and magic and dwarves and elves and everything. It just felt like you were learning alongside him. You were like in a classroom too, with Brom as your teacher. It was just wonderful. And I really liked that, like I said, that with Brom and Murtagh especially, you didn't get everything about them at once. It kept you on the edge of your seat wondering who these people were and if you could trust them. And that was also what was really awesome, was that, and what connected me to Aragon, was that we both weren't sure if we could trust these two people, and you were going back and forth about it, and you're just like, it felt wonderful knowing that an author was able to do that, where you felt like you were very connected with the main character. And he narrated the story, and it was just wonderfully done, and it felt like I was just going into this adventure with him. It was just so wonderful. Everything was wonderful. Although I did find that Aragon was a little bit whiny at the beginning, especially when he first starts training with Brom, but it quickly subsided, and I was very pleased with that. So, as of late, especially as of late, I haven't been able to give a 5 rating star to any books, but this is the exception. Oh my gosh, 5 stars for this book. Everything about it was wonderful, and I can't wait to be able to get the second book. I'm just so excited. So yeah, tell me what you thought of this book if you've read it. Let us talk about the movies that I got from my Black Friday. I was able to get 10 films on Black Friday. Everything's under $10 when I bought these, and I got one actually for free. So this is amazing. So the first film that I got was The Help, and I've already watched most of these movies already, and I just finally got a chance to buy them. So I watched this already, and I loved this film. It really handles the subject well, and I just love the comedy part of it. It was very well balanced with everything, and I have to read the book. I didn't realize that this was a book until after I watched it, so I am really hoping to read this book eventually. The next film that I got was Coraline, which is about a girl named Coraline who is bored with her new home until she finds a secret door that leads her into a new world that's the same as her own, but better, at least to her. But then it turns dangerous. Her other mother wants to keep her forever, and so she must try to find her way back into her own world. So I really think this is interesting because it deals with parallel universes. That's what I'm thinking. It's like a parallel universe where everything's the same but different at the same time, and that's just really cool. And I'm thinking that this animation is going to be really awesome to look at. The next one is The Dark Knight, which I am finally going to watch. I have the first one, and now I have the second one, and hopefully I will be able to get the third one at some point, and I will have the full collection. Lady and the Tramp, a classic. Just loveliness. I like this film. It's so romantic, and it's about dogs. We have the Percy in the Olympics, the Lightning Thief, and the guy that plays Owen in Grey's Anatomy plays in this film, and I had not realized that until I looked at the back and I saw him in there. I was just like, oh my gosh, he plays in there. I did not know. So I'm really excited to see this film. I actually already watched it, but I didn't know that he was in there. Yeah, that's really cool, and I really liked the story. It was fantastic. Then we have the Spider-Man. The next one is Bridesmaids, and this film was hilarious, and it's very rare for me to find this kind of comedy funny because it's not my type, and I'm not really into dirty comedy. I was pleasantly surprised at how much I laughed throughout this film and how much I didn't really mind the comedy. So this film was actually something that I got for free. They were giving it away at Barnes and Noble, and so I took it, and it's Mankind, the story of all of us. The next one is X-Men First Class. The last one is Mrs. Doubtfire, and I absolutely loved this film. I think this is Robin Williams at his best. It showcases all of his talents, his ability to play the opposite voice impersonations and all that stuff, and just his total ability to do comedy. It's just everything was the first film that I've ever watched of him, I think, so this was a fantastic film. Now let's talk about the books that I have gotten in the past week, and I was able to get 5 books through my Nook this Friday. I'm going to show you the pictures right now of the books. The next 3 books that I got are physical books, and I was able to get these because of my birthday this last Sunday. First one is Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell, and I've been wanting to read this book for like the past 5 months, and a lot of the reasons why I've held off is because of the price of the book, but also because the last time that I went to the Barnes & Noble was they had the film cover, and I do not like film covers. I can't stand that. I don't like it. I want the original cover. I want I want cover art. I don't want something that has to do with the film, because if I don't like the film, why would I want to see that on my cover? I don't waste my money on film cover books. I don't like it. So I was searching for this for months, and I've seen it here and there. I saw it actually at a bookstore in Yosemite National Park. I was kind of surprised to see it there, but yeah, I'm just really excited to finally get this cover. It's so pretty. And 5 minutes before, I didn't even know what this book was, and I still don't know what it's about. All I know is that it's like several different stories interweaved together, and I think that the main character of each story somehow connect to the next person's story. I'm not really sure. It's like a puzzle, is what they say. It's like a puzzle. And I know that a lot of people didn't like that there was different stories and then it was really hard or whatever, but I think it's very unique and different, and I am going to keep an open mind on this because I like when authors are willing to do something different with their writing and stuff, so I'm excited. The next book that I got is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, and this is another book that I've been wanting for like months and months and months on, and this is about when it was 1939 in Nazi Germany, and I'm not really sure how to explain this book. But Liesel Meminger's life changes when she's at her brother's graveside, and she finds a book on the ground. And at this time, it was a lot of book burning a norm, and she finds this book and she reads it, and she really wants to start reading more. So she goes and starts stealing books from the Nazis, book burners, and just wherever she can actually find them. But then her father helps a Jewish family by hiding them in their home, and it says that it both opened and up and closed down Liesel's world. So I'm kind of intrigued by the whole book thief kind of thing. I think that is going to be an interesting book to read. So, book that I got is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and it's about Celia and Marco, who are a part of a circus that only does their shows during the night. They just suddenly show up during the day, and at night they do the perform, and then the next day they're gone. So Celia and Marco are young magicians who are dueling. For some reason, I'm not really sure I understand like what the duel is about, but a duel that can only leave one person standing. But Celia and Marco fall in love with each other, and it has dangerous consequences. That is it for my to be read, to be watched pile. The book that I'm currently reading is also one of the books that I showed you guys through my Nook, and that is the Portrait of Dorian Gray. I read any of these books or watched any of the films. Tell me what you thought. I'll see you in a couple of days, hopefully, when I will do a movie review. Bye!